Talked to band members Mark Feely, Nicky Byrne, Shane Phelan and Cian Egan about their remarkable success. And ill Brian McFadden was unfortunately unable to attend.
Watching Michael Jackson when I was younger and stuff like that, I always wanted to be on stage, always wanted to be a singer. Never thought like I'd get into a band like this, whatever, but just kept trying and did a few musicals and then got lucky, I suppose. It's about 4 years ago, about four or 5 years ago. We're in IOU for about a year and a half. It was just kind of amateur, really amateur at home in Sligo, the northwest of Ireland, just kind of doing like small shows and stuff. It's nothing really until we met Louis and then met Nicky and Brian that the actual band really started, to be honest. So my mum rang him and couldn't get him for like weeks, and then eventually got him. And she's from the same town as him in Mayo, like originally. And so they knew the family. Louis knew her family. And it was like, all right, yeah, I'll meet your son and see what he's like and blah, blah, blah. So myself and Cian went to meet Louis. And it was from then on, then he just kind of kept meeting us, and then eventually took us on.
Prior to meeting the boys' own manager, Louis Walsh, Westlife were a six-piece. But early record company reaction was poor, and it was obvious changes needed to be made.
Well, 3 of the members, Louis thought, didn't fit the group. So it was kind of like make or break, so we had to make a decision. So we did, and we held auditions and found Nicky and Brian. It was very hard for us. It was very hard for us as a group, as like we were friends with them and stuff like that. It was very hard to do that, but I think it was something that we had to do for our careers. And we couldn't let anything affect that, so each and every one of us would have done it, you know what I mean? So it was just unfortunate for the 3 guys. But we're still friends with them and stuff, so it's not too bad.
In music, as in life, one man's misfortune is often another's opportunity. And for Dubliners Nicky Byrne and Brian McFadden, it was the opportunity of a lifetime.
Myself and Brian actually went to Real to their audition, and Louis was there at the audition, and he was looking for, secretly Louis was looking for another member for IOU at the time, which myself and Brian didn't know anything about. And then basically what happened was we got up and sang, and Louis kind of called us over, and Cian was there at the time, and introduced us to Cian after myself and Brian sung. Louis came up to us and said, I'm doing this separate pop band, and he said, I'd like you to, to maybe be involved. So we got introduced to Cian, and then Cian was telling us the whole story about IOU, the Backstreet Boys and stuff like that. And it went from there. Then we just kept in contact, and we held then the proper auditions for IOU at the time.
No, I mean, I think, the fact that myself, Shane and Mark come from Sligo and we started it up ourselves, we were so interested in just getting the right band. All we wanted was to do it, and no matter what we had to do, we were prepared to do it, And when we met Nicky and Brian, we knew straight away that they were the right 2. Because we used to always look up to the Backstreet Boys. I remember saying to Louis, if we get the 2 of them in the band, we've got the next Backstreet Boys. We've got a proper vocal group. Because Brian also brought a new harmony to the group, and also so did Nicky. So it was just all of a sudden we went from a 3-piece harmony to a 5-piece harmony, and it just really blended straight away. It just worked. And to be honest with you, we might as well have known them all our lives, because that's what it felt like.
The new lineup had their manager purring with contentment. He could immediately see the possibilities for a band with, as he said, no passengers. Others could see it also.
Simon Cowell came back over, and the thing about it was we had rehearsed an awful lot for our second set of record company auditions, and then all of a sudden every record company wanted to sign us. So it ended up being a big battle from one extreme to the next, to totally not getting signed to everybody wanting to sign us. So it was quite good.
We worked very hard as a group. We got great songs from producers, really top quality songs. I think that's what kind of set us apart from a lot of bands around that time. I think getting the Smash Hits Award straight up helped us a lot with the fan base.
Boys on tour.
Boys on tour, we did in Europe and in the UK and Ireland. And then once Swear It Again came out, it was #1, and followed up with a great single, If I Let You Go, and then of course Flying Without Wings was like one of our biggest hits. And I think from that we kind of crossed over as well to a different audience with that song, a bit of slightly older audience as well. So from then on, we just kept getting bigger and bigger, really.
Some find you cheering every morning. Well, for me.
Fans of fairy tale stories will be pleased to know that it wasn't really instant success. Well, not overnight anyway. There were months of grinding rehearsals ahead.
I can remember getting into the band, and for the first kind of 3 or 4 months we spent it in the Red Box in Dublin rehearsing, and the boys were living with myself and Brian in Dublin, and then we signed the deal, and we thought that was it. We could we'd made our money, or you know, stupid things. And it was like, that was only the beginning, you know, that was only the beginning of the hard work. All of a sudden we were on planes, mostly from Dublin to London. And then it started going Dublin, London, and then all of a sudden we weren't seeing Dublin, and it was like London, and the boys were never seeing Sligo, you know, it was London, you know, Madrid, London, Barcelona, and then it would start, you know, London, America, and from recording songs, Sweden, everywhere. And then as Shane said, when the first three singles went to #1, it was just, you know, we didn't look back. But even now, I mean, it's still hard work, you know, we can chill out a little bit compared to what we did at the very beginning, but it's, you know, if you want to sustain your success, you've got to, you know, keep working hard. There's no shortcut to it. There's no shortcut at all to success. You got to work hard for it. Well, it's from Louis and from us. I think the five of us, that what we do share is the will to work, and the will that we all have a goal at the end of it. We wanted to be successful. We wanted, you know, we wanted to be the next Backstreet Boys.
We were beyond passionate about it.
Yeah, it was
That's
like,
exactly what it was. Every single one of us, between the five of us, Louis, everybody that started getting involved in this, the passion for what we wanted was just there, and we were willing to do anything to get it. I mean, anything, and we did. And you know, and once we got it, we still want more. We constantly, every day, we want more. You know, we want to go to America. We're going to go to America this summer. We want to break there. You know, we want our next album to be bigger than this album. We're just always going for the next goal. Whatever it is about us, we just set our sights at something. When we get there, it just goes higher.
And if you're in a young band, write down what he just said. The second part of the equation, though, are the songs provided to Westlife by two of the biggest production teams in the world.
There's two main sets of producers that we use. There's a guy in London called Steve Mack, and he writes songs with Wayne Hector. They did Swear It Again, Flying Without Wings, What Makes a Man. They did a lot more of the ballad-based stuff. Well, it's all ballad-based stuff, really.
There's a lot of it, yeah.
And then there's the Swedish team, Dave and Per from
Jörgen.
Dave, Per and Jörgen from Sheeran, and you know, they had done Britney Spears, Backstreet Boys, a lot of big artists, and when we met them, we were just like in awe of the whole idea of them working with our favourite bands and our favourite artists. So we just blended really well. They liked our voices, and they gave us their top shelf songs. We were really, really lucky, to be honest. I mean, a lot of bands go in there, and you see a lot of bands that they even produce now, and you know, they still don't come out with the goods.